I know in the last video I talked about, I was going to talk about AOC in regards to Black Lives Matter and the rioting, but I'm going to get to that a little bit later. I was looking through the news again and I literally found this article and I thought to myself, this has to be satire. This has to be, this is too good to be true. Well, apparently it's not. It is true. It is true. And I find it hilarious. I want to know why. Well, because this woman, she thought she was going to be brave and bold, saying, "How dare you put a Trump sign? I'm going to take it." And then she gets shot. Now, granted, do I think that the guy could have gone a little bit too far? No. It's a BB gun. Deal with it. You're lucky it was just a BB gun. Okay? You're lucky it was just a BB gun. Because those things, while they might hurt, get used to it. You're be glad it wasn't a bullet. Be glad it wasn't a bullet. Okay? Well, now the media is on her side saying she was removing a sign from the wrong yard. Yeah, sure she did. Because we haven't seen videos on YouTube, compilations of people stealing Trump signs. We haven't seen compilations of people trying to steal booby-trap Trump signs on lawns. You mean to tell me those are just fake news? Nah, I doubt it, man. I believe those things. I remember even reading an article a few months ago talking about how a family, I think it was two doctors, who literally brought their children with them, brought a ladder, and tried to take down a Trump flag from like an unknown person's home. It wasn't even their home. Even the kid, what I found really disturbing about that story is that the kid was telling their parents, "Mom, Dad, don't do this. This is wrong." And I'm thinking to myself, this kid has more morals, has higher ethical standards than the two parents that are raising this kid. That to me is shocking. So I do not believe this woman took this sign by accident. I think it was on purpose. But since the guy responded with a BB gun, well, now she's the victim. I'm sorry, man. You go into my property uninvited and you try to stake anything from my front yard, whether that being my American flag, or whether that being my Trump lawn sign, or that is even going through my car. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna stop you in whatever method I find the most appropriate, and that usually is with a gun. I know. Usually, some of you guys thinking, really, Carlos, your solution to dealing these kinds of things is a gun? Yes, it is. Yes, because I want to make sure that if someone's gonna rob my house, they know what they're asking for. When someone wants to break into my house and then the little buddies see that their buddy got shot for trying to break into a house, I want the little buddies to know to not fuck with me when they want to break into my house again. That's what I want. Because when it comes to my issue with guns, when it comes to me and guns, I want the scale so tipped in my favor that I want even the devil himself to literally question himself whether or not he wants to fuck with me by breaking into my house. And yes, that is my response. Yeah. So when little Jose wants to break into my house and I literally riddle him with bullet holes, right? When I riddle him with bullets, I want his little associates to look back and say, "Hey, Holmes, do not break into that S's house, man. Little Jose, man, he tried to break into that homie's house and the guy just shot him, man. He literally riddled him with bullets. Do not go there, man. If you want to die, you have a death wish, you go, man. But I'm not going to break into that S's house. That guy's psycho. That guy's crazy." And yes, I can make that impression because I'm Hispanic, so it's not racist, by the way. So I don't know, man. I side with the man who shot this woman. Like I said, I have no problem with this. Like I said, she's lucky it was a BB gun. She's lucky it was a BB gun. But the media is painting her as the victim, not to mention she even saying she was removing it, when in reality she was stealing it. Come on, let's face it. How do you not know your brother's front yard from another person's front yard? I mean, come on. Really, come on. But anyways, let us read the story. Woman shot with a BB gun for removing Trump sign from the wrong yard. Here's the thing. Apparently the X-ray, that little dot right here, we're watching this, apparently that's the BB. It's a 4.8 millimeter BB. It's not that big. It's really small. But depending on the BB, it can actually penetrate a little bit. The ones that I have for my air guns are steel with copper coated BBs, right? They're copper coated steel BBs. So yes, even at close range, those things can enter your skin. Now, not penetrate it. Like for example, if I were to shoot it at my arm, it's not gonna go through my arm, but it's gonna be lodged in there. Like really, it really goes through. Like depending on the range and the velocity of the handgun, it can really cause some penetration. Like, and it depends. For example, a BB rifle, 600 feet per second to 700 feet per second, and at close range, it'll go in pretty deep. Like, trust me. And some of them even have pellets. So she's lucky this was a BB and not a pellet. because pellets have more penetration, and depending on the pellets that you have, they can go through quite a bit. Now again, now I'm not saying it can go through your skin, but it can go even deeper than a BB because pellets are actually pointed. But anyways, let's read the story. A woman who was removing what she thought was a prank political sign from her brother's front yard in Lincolnton was shot with a BB gun by the man's next door neighbor. The man accused of shooting her now faces charges, while the woman told Channel 9 that the BB is still lodged in her arm. Well, boo effing who? Okay, boo effing who? And why is this man facing charges? Why? Why is this man facing charges? From what wasn't the sign his property for a guy from a man's next door neighbor? Really? Oh well, I guess I can understand why now. Okay, I guess that guy's being charged because I guess it wasn't his business. I guess you could say, well, I don't know, man, but I think she deserved it. I still think she deserves it. She deserves it. Peggy Fox said she never imagined a simple mistake could lead to someone shooting her. Well, that is why when it's none of your business, that's why you stay the hell out of this, man. If it's not your front yard, why are you on it? If you see a Trump sign that is not on your property, why the hell do you care? Why the hell do you care? I don't know. But again, I find it funny nonetheless. Anyways, it was very frightening, extremely frightening, Fox said. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. You try to steal someone's property. What did you expect? What did you expect? If you were to break into my car and try to steal it, and then I start shooting at you, and then I shoot you in the arm, are you gonna say it was frightening? It was frightening. He shot me. He shot me in the arm. What were you doing, ma'am? I was trying to steal his car. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. You steal someone's property, or in this case, someone else's property. Be prepared to deal with the consequences, because some people don't play those games. You might say, well, Carlos, it's just a sign. It's just material things. Why do you care about material things? It's not that I don't care about material things. Yes, I know I can get them replaced, but how much money is it going to cost me to replace those things? Right? Some people, for example, like my dad, would prefer that I let someone steal my car rather than prevent someone from stealing my car in the first place. They say, well, it's a car, Carlos. You can always replace it. Yeah, but how much is it going to cost me to replace it? I don't have the money to dish out a replacement car. I don't have that money for that. I don't know if my insurance will even cover that. Right? That's the thing. Sure, Trump sign might cost like around $20, $30. But what if it's a but what if it's a recurring thing? Let's say someone steals your Trump sign. Now, $30 to put a new one. Then the next day they steal it again. That's another $30. That's $60 in 2 days. I'm sorry, man, but at some point, even for a Trump sign, you gotta take your methods, man. You do. You gotta. You gotta. Because what? Eventually, what? 3 days later, now you're paying 90. 4 days later, 120. Right? That's money. Yeah, sure, you can replace. It's a materialistic object, sure. But the money, what's going to cost me to replace it, that's what matters. Anyways, let's keep going. She was visiting her brother's home in Lincolnton on Thursday. She said that she never expresses his political views, so when she arrived and saw a Trump sign in what she thought was his yard, she assumed it was a prank and pulled it up. She took just a few steps before she was shot. I felt pain in my arm, and I looked up and I heard the gentleman yell at me, Fox said. And then there's a tweet from the woman. The woman is literally a blonde. I guess you could say that she didn't really understand what was going on. And the picture on the left to you is the Trump sign. I think it's a very good looking Trump sign. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really good. I might actually buy that one when I choose to buy my own house. That is, if by that point I don't own a house by 2020. But that's something that I might actually want to have. That's actually a really nice Trump sign. Worth McAllister, 76, spoke to Channel 9's Ken Lemon. Said that he shot Fox with a BB gun that he had bought to use on stray cats in his yard. Man, this guy is not... This is the guy that you do not want to fuck with, okay? He's using that on stray cats, for Christ's sake. God damn. This is why you don't fuck with people. That is why I'm a guy that says live and let live, okay? That is why when you go into areas where people own guns, you leave them the fuck alone. That's what you do. That is why when my mom always tells she's always trying to talk me out of moving to Texas, saying, well, those people they're more aggressive over there, Carlos. Yeah, no shit, because they're Texans. That's why I want to go there. I want to go to Texas, buy a house, buy guns, and then people will leave me the fuck alone. That's why I want to go there. People who are in Texas, they just want to be left alone, man. And I am that kind of guy. I just want to live and let live. Leave me be with my wife, with my kids. Leave me be, and I'll leave you be. Do not mess with me, and I don't mess with you. Okay? I do me, you do you, we won't do each other. Simple as that. Right? I'm telling you, man, this guy's a psycho. And I mean, psycho in the sense that he used a BB gun to shoot stray cats. Okay, why would this woman think this was a good idea? I don't know, man. But like I said, you don't know who you're messing with when you're doing this kind of stuff. Maybe you steal that Trump sign. Maybe you get away with it. Maybe you steal that Trump sign. Next thing you know, you're being riddled with bullets. You don't know, so don't take the chance. Don't take the chance, woman. Now, like I said, while he does use the BB gun to shoot stray cats, I think it's really messed up. But I think the woman still deserves getting shot with a BB gun. I thought she deserves it. By the way, Fox told Lemon that there was no warning before she was shot. And should he have warned her? I mean, if I see someone breaking into my car, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, man, I have my Glock 26. I'm aiming it at you right now, and I'm about to pull the trigger. So I just want to let you know, because it's the nice thing to do to warn you." Nah, man. I just walk to my car, and I say, "Hey, knock knock, plap plap." That's what I do. But anyways, let's keep going. You can't shoot people on your property. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You can't shoot people. Yeah, you can. What kind of logic is that? You can't shoot people on your property. Yes, you can. Some states have castle doctrine. Have you not heard of that? Man, this woman is naive. This woman is incredibly naive, and she's older than me, mind you. She said she would have to put the sign back if McAllister would have told her that it was on his property. He actually believed he could shoot me if I was on his property, and to me, that's terrifying, Fox said. Well, yeah. If I see someone on my property that I think is trying to do harm, and I didn't invite them, you best believe I'm going to be carrying my gun on my holster. You best believe it, woman. You best believe that. Because I don't know what you might do. She said McAllister believed he has a right, and that he encouraged her to call the police. When Fox said officers showed up and charged McAllister with misdemeanor assault. Yeah, well, the cops fucked up. But anyways, let's go on. Fox insists she had no objection to the sign itself, but just knew it couldn't be her brother's. You defend your property and you end up getting charged, McAllister told Channel 9. And yes, I do agree, that's outrageous. This is the problem that I have with many cops. Right now, cops are literally on the edge right now. The left wants them gone because they're cops. And right now, the cops, what they're doing, many of them are good people. Many cops are literally arresting people who are attacking or defending themselves from the people that want them gone. For example, in the case of the McCloskeys, in the McCloskeys, I think it's in Lewis, the cops went after the couple that were defending themselves from the rioters. Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but those kinds of cops I do not support. I support the idea of a police for sure, but I do not cops like this. I do not like cops like this who are going to ignore the Constitution outright and then just arrest the man who was clearly not violating the law in any sense of the word. And sorry, but again, that's just me. McAllister said he was trying to shoot Fox, but that he was trying to hit her in the backside, not in the arm. He also said he thinks about filing charges against her for attempted theft of his campaign sign, but he can't do that until the assault case is heard. McAllister is due in court on November 5th. Wow, 2 days after the election. Fox said she thinks the problem is the political divisiveness that is spreading across society. I think it speaks to the political conditions, and it's really, really sad. I just wish people would talk, she said. Well, I just think people should just stop taking away Trump signs or my property, for that matter. But I don't know, man. Call me cruel. Call me unjust. Well, he got the BB gun to shoot stray cats. I think it's really messed up. I don't know, man. You walk into my property. I do not know you, and I see you taking something from my front yard. You best believe you're gonna get shot. I get it. It's a Trump sign, sure. But how much is it gonna cost me to replace it? How much is it gonna cost you to replace the material objects that you think I can replace? That's what a lot of have to say. Well, it's just a sign, man. You can just replace it. What's the big deal? How much is it gonna cost me? That's the problem. It's just a car, man. Well, what's the big deal? You can just replace it. How much is it gonna cost me? Oh, it's just your house, man. You can always get a new house. What's the big deal? How much is it gonna cost me to get a new house? They never ask that. They never ask that question. They say, oh, it's just a material object. You can always replace it. But they never ask how much it's gonna cost me. Like I said, maybe it costs $30. But if it's an everyday occurrence, that money adds up. That money adds up. I could spend those $30 on something else, you know. But I don't know, man. This woman clearly was stealing the sign. Clearly she was. And again, I think she's lucky she got shot with a BB gun. I think she's lucky. But like I said, if you're not sure of where you are, just live and let live. Just do it. If you're not sure of where you are, if you're new to an area, just leave people alone. Don't be looking for trouble. All right? Don't walk into other people's front yards if you know that your relatives don't live there. Okay? Now she says that she thought it was her brother's property. Okay. Well, where's your brother in all of this? How come I didn't hear your brother talk about this? Why? That is why I don't believe that she was visiting her brother. I don't believe it, because if that's the case, we would have gotten something from the brother. But I don't know, man. I think she deserves it. Yeah, again, she could have gotten worse. But today's lesson is this: if you don't know where you are, live and let live. Even if you don't like even if you don't like what you see, and if you're walking down a neighborhood and you see someone with a Trump sign on their lawn, don't take it. Don't grab it. You never know. Maybe the homeowner is gonna look at it and say, "Oh, here's another one." Or maybe the homeowner is some guy like this guy who buys a BB gun to shoot cats with. You're lucky it was a BB gun. You're lucky it was a BB gun, and it wasn't an actual firearm. But like I said, the guy who's getting charged, I think is just wrong. And screw the cops who charge this guy. If you're on my property and I see you stealing something, pop pop. Simple as that. And I want everyone in the neighborhood to know, if you come on my property and you're not invited, or you're coming to my property with hostile intentions, you best believe you're going to be added to the pile of corpses that are in my front yard. That's what I'm going to do. Again, let me know what you guys think. Do you think this woman, sorry, do you think this incident was a whole misunderstanding? Or do you think this woman was actually trying to steal this Trump sign? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What would you do if you saw someone stealing your property? What would you do then? I'll see you guys in a bit. Now, this time, I'm going to say in all seriousness, this time I am going to be talking about AOC. Okay? I'll see you guys in a bit.